大家好，欢迎收看达赖喇嘛专访特别节目的第2集。在这一集里面，达赖喇嘛提到了转世的问题，以及他希望能够来台湾访问的事情。不过在一开始的时候，他提到西藏目前的生态，尤其是西藏是所有的大河，包括在中国长江以及黄河，以及东南亚的湄公河，以及在南亚的几条大河的发源地。有些学者甚至把西藏高原称为第3极。目前西藏高原的生态是不是有很大的影响？达赖提出他的忧虑。
I'd like to move the issue to climate change. Now there's more than 100 head of state gathered, try to solve climate change. They try to reach a compromise and restrain everyone's activity in order to help the climate. What would you say to this issue of climate and human activity? Do you think they should have a compromise, or this is all caused by human activity, the environment?
Of course, I always feel serious concern about global warming, climate change, these things. Very serious. But then, how to tackle this problem, I don't know. I really appreciate a lot of leaders, a lot of countries, leaders now really showing some kind of commitment about this problem. I think it is hopeful sign, wonderful. Then actually we should tackle this problem, not easy. Like China and India, the poor country, still developing. So the fuel, fossil fuel, these things, if this completely stop, then I think millions of people, some difficulties. So we have to find ways and means and some kind of more balanced way. I don't know. Here, my one empty sort of dream. There's here is on this planet. There are quite sort of big area, sand land or desert land. Like Australia, few occasions, last I think few years, I sort of just expressing Australia, all 4 sites, all sea. So now coastal area, or because of the sea, is rains and these things, the Greenland. In inward desert. So now each site should have some kind of plan with vision. Each decade, few hundred kilometers inward, and using seawater, through our modern technology, what we call desalination. We have that sort of technology. So all sites, use that technology and bring seawater inward. Each sort of decade, go like that. Then there is possibility, Australia, larger area can be Greenland. Then in India, also the Gujarat, Indies, and Rajasthan. Rajasthan lived because of far from sea. But Gujarat is, I think, quite easy to bring water from Arab Sea, like that. So then, long run, Sahara. Use Mediterranean Sea's water and Atlantis sort of sea water. And there's plenty of solar energy. Use that for industry. The industry mainly desalination. Then is my dream firstly, a lot of desert area can be green. And then, meantime, sea water's level, you see, some way to check. If billions of gallons of water used annually or every month, it may have. Then some kind of competition, North Pole, Antarctica. You see, I mean, every year, every decade, more and more they produce more and more seawater.
Right.
So here we use more and more seawater. So some competition.
But are you concerned that environmental impact will have on the Tibetan plateau? That would nowadays, are you really concerned? Would the Chinese government do anything about the environmental impact in the Tibetan plateau?
Some time back, when Zhou Prime Minister, Zhou because of, I think, a lot of unusual flood, you see, took place, happened in China proper. So, you see, I think the Prime Minister's office, you see, gives some kind of instruction in some of the area which the river, the source, you see, deforestation. He gives some instruction should not take place. Deforestation should not cut trees. So some Chinese ecologists, they really concern importance of Tibetan ecology. Then also Indian. I think the several millions of Indians' life depend on water which come from Tibetan plateau or Tibetan mountains. And then similarly, China proper, the Kasachoti, Huanghe, Yellow River, that's good Kasa, Changjiang. You see, these come from Tibet. And then also Mekong River, and
Indochina.
In one city, in Pakistan, also one major river comes from Tibet. So therefore, the taking care about Tibetan ecology is not only concern for 6 million Tibetan people, but also I think over a billion human beings' life depend on these rivers. And then climate change. One Chinese ecologist wrote one article, several years research. He found effect to global warming from Tibetan plateau is as much as South Pole, North Pole. So he described Tibetan plateau is third pole. So this is something very serious matter. So as I mentioned earlier, once you see the Chinese Prime Minister Zhou you see take notice. So now I think hopefully in this kind of meeting, the Xi Jinping also there. I saw in BBC report. So I think the new leaders is a more realistic approach. Unlike in 6 days, 7 days, then they deliberately prefer completely isolate. Now that after the Deng Xiaoping sort of new sort of thinking, new realistic thinking, China comparatively is a more wider contact with outside world. And also relation with Taiwan also, you see, much improved.
Xi Jinping.